Ladies and gentlemen, August is here. Eliseo Sports Talk episode has appeared. This is episode 27. We are in the dog days of sports now. Seems like it's Sunday, August 8th. The Olympics just wrapped up. The NBA Summer League just started. But MLB is still going strong. And yeah, we're still here to bring you guys a good, solid episode today. So let's get right into it. It'll be a shorter one, but we're still gonna give you guys an episode. And next week we'll have some NFL predictions. So that one will be a pretty big episode.
Yeah, next week, look forward to NFL predictions. We'll give, you know, every prediction regarding the season you could possibly give. And yeah, like Casey said, this episode will be a pretty short one. We'll have a subscriber on the phone to talk about something coming up in his sports life. And so yeah, let's get right into it. So now let's talk a little MLB. Let's touch on the Giants first. Giants have played great stretch of baseball recently. They played, arguably the three best teams in baseball besides them in the Dodgers, the Astros, and the Brewers. 13 games against those three teams, and they won nine of them, 9-4 in 13 games against the Astros, Dodgers, and Brewers in like the last 2 weeks. So just a great stretch of baseball. We're showing haters that we can play against good competition, which I think is amazing. We dropped one to Arizona, but that's bound to happen. We still won 3 out of 4. But yeah, how do you feel about the Giants team right now? I feel like it's all coming together with the addition of Chris Bryant.
Yeah, definitely. I think this Arizona series is very solid. We won 3 of 4. That last game it went to extra innings,
Yeah.
but Lamont Wade really clutched up.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy game.
Yeah, and I think Chris Bryant was struggling for his first few games, but he's really got it back together. This last Milwaukee series really just showed how good our bullpen is. I mean, our bullpen was blamed for being really bad from all of us, I think, at the start of the year. And ever since that, I mean, they've been extremely good. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I think we used every single one of our guys in the pen on Saturday, you mentioned, and we
Yeah.
still were able. I mean, I don't think any of them really gave us an earned run except Harlan Garcia, which technically doesn't count as an earned run because he started with a guy on second in extra innings. So, I mean, bullpen's been great. This team is just a very solid team all around. I think Milwaukee is a really good team as well. So that last series we had is very interesting.
I think. I mean, um, if the playoff format is the way it was last year, and there's like those 3 game series, I'm not sure if there's a team that can beat the Brewers. I mean, that three-headed monster of Burns, Woodruff, and Freddie Peralta in a 3 game set. I'm not sure if any team can beat that in the majors, besides maybe like the Dodgers. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a really good team. Their pitching is really what they're built on. But they got some sluggers. I mean, that addition of Willie Adames early in the year from the Rays, that was huge. He's a whole new ball player now. Christian Yelich is not what he was, but he's still a serviceable player. Um, and yeah, I mean, just a bunch of solid players. Nothing spectacular in that lineup, but that pitching and bullpen is really what makes them a great team. But the Giants won 2 out of 3, and now we move on to a pretty easy stretch with a homestand with Arizona, Colorado, and the New York Mets. So I want to sweep against the Rockies and the Diamondbacks.
Would be awesome. The Diamondback series only a 2 game set, so that's easily doable. Then
Yeah,
the Rockies one is a Thursday through Sunday 4 gamer. We haven't played Colorado in a minute. It feels like.
yeah, they're
Um,
so bad. They're the worst team baseball by far on the road. On the road, so
yeah,
it's
um, definitely. And then the Mets are struggling a ton. And we can even transition a little here and talk about kind of other parts of the MLB.
yeah,
The Mets were in first place in the NL East, and ever since that, they just got swept by the Phillies. The Phillies kind of took charge, and now they're in third place in the NL East. What's
yeah.
going on over in New York, and who do you like out of the NL East?
You know, after the trade deadline, even though they started in third at the trade deadline, I like the Atlanta Braves to win this division now. I mean, the outfield, they lost Ronald Acuna, which is obviously huge, but they did a pretty good job of filling in. I mean, they got Jock Peterson, Adam Duvall, Jorge Soler, um, Eddie Rosario. I mean, that the outfield is stacked. And then Austin Riley's playing really well. Ozzy Albies is obviously good. Dansby Swanson's playing well. They obviously have Freddie Freeman. Um, and then Travis d'Arnaud is getting healthy. So this is a really good lineup. Obviously, they don't have the best pitching, and their bullpen's not great. They have Will Smith, but uh, yeah, this lineup I think can carry them. And with how bad the Mets are playing, and a kind of fluky Phillies team, I think the Braves are gonna win this. What about you?
I think the Phillies can do it. I mean, I'm not a big Philadelphia fan, and I never thought the Phillies were this good, but I think they're a solid team this year. I mean, they're hitting really well. Bryce Harper is
MVP.
looking worth the money. I mean, he's playing amazing, and I think their pitching's pretty solid. I think Aaron Nola is coming back to like his form that he was in 2019. He had a terrible shortened season,
Zach
but
Wheeler is drawing Cy
oh,
Young attention.
former Giant Zach Wheeler is playing amazing. So yeah, I do think this Phillies team is very solid. I mean, they just swept the Mets, and they're up pretty good right now. I believe they're up
One and a
three
half.
games in the yeah,
I think
they're up
2.5. Yeah, I don't know.
2 games in the
Game.
division, 2.5 on the Mets.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Mets, I don't really know what happened. Everything ever since they got Javi Baez, things kind of went downhill. I think losing Jacob DeGrom is a big part of that. Besides him, that rotation isn't great. I mean, Taiwan Walker was an all-star, but ever since the all-star break, he's been pretty awful. And
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman is all right.
Yeah. And in the AL, the Astros right now have the best record. Well, sorry, no. The Chicago White Sox and Astros both have 66 wins, but the Tampa Bay Rays have 68. So all three of those teams are leading their divisions, and have a pretty good record. Do you think those three will be the ones that win? Or do you think the Red Sox maybe will win it, or the A's can come
The
back
Red
on that
Sox
team?
on a huge skid. I believe they're 2-8 in the last 10.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, the AL East is absolutely nuts. They have four playoffs teams pretty much. I mean, if you look at the records, the Blue Jays are playing out of their mind. Offensive wise, I think it's the best offensive team in baseball. Not stat wise, maybe. I think it's the Astros stat wise, but just on paper, that team's insane. Vladdy, George Springer's playing great. Marcus Semien, Teoscar Hernandez, Randall Grichuk. I mean, it's Bo Bichette. It's ridiculous. Um, and so yeah, they got Jose Barrios. They have Robbie Reyes playing great this year. So this AL East is gonna be crazy. I mean, the Yankees are finally getting it together, and I think the Red Sox, who have been in first majority of the year, are gonna finish in fourth. The way this is going right now, they're not playing good baseball, and these other teams, the Rays, the Yankees, and the Blue Jays, are all heating up at the right time.
I mean, I gotta agree with you on that. Um, and I mean, I just think this playoffs is gonna be awesome this October.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be competitive right now. There's not a team that we see that we think is going to win. I mean, some kids would say the Dodgers, but I mean, they're not even winning their division. So now we welcome on Trent Milanauskas. And Trent, if you had to tell us a World Series prediction right now, or just, who you think's going to win it all, who would you tell us in the MLB?
Giants.
And why do you think the Giants, and who do you think they'll play?
I'm pretty biased, so I'm just gonna, go ahead and say my team. But with the way we're playing right now, I can see us, being World Series champs.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Trent Milanauskas thinks that the Giants are going to win it all. And yeah, I don't know if I can disagree with him. Throw back to like episode 3 when I said that the Giants are going to make the playoffs. And Oliver was like, that's biasy. And I mean, I
I
don't
just
know.
thought there's no shot.
I honestly was being biased in that point. I just didn't think we had what it take. I thought maybe next year when Elliott comes up and Joey's kind of better. But I mean, they've surprised me. Kapler's been an amazing coach. The pitching's been great. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because I thought it'd be the Dodgers and Padres. One of them would take up the wild card spot, and then in the NL East, I thought the Braves would be better. I thought the Mets would be better. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there you have it, a little MLB talk. Tuesday, August 10th, the HBO series that we all love, Hard Knocks, comes back on. And this year it features the Dallas Cowboys. Every year, there's two things that teams have to have to be featured on Hard Knocks. I think the best year we ever saw was that Cleveland Browns year before 2019. That year was amazing. Maybe that was 2018. But you have to not have a new coach, and you can't have made the playoffs last year. So the Cowboys qualified for that with Mike McCarthy in his second year, not making the playoffs last year. So Oliver, do you like this decision, or do you think you would have rather seen another team chosen?
I mean, obviously, no one really likes the Cowboys except for Cowboys fans, so I'm not a big Cowboys guy. But I am curious to see, a little bit inside this organization. I mean, I think it's a pretty interesting one with Jerry Jones up front. He's kind of just an odd guy. Mike McCarthy. How the dynamic is with Dak Prescott. So I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's kind of just what it is. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's interesting. I just don't like the team too much.
I personally would have rather seen like the Arizona Cardinals. I feel like I
Yeah.
think that would have been really interesting with a star QB in Kyler Murray and then a coach that's not really proven yet in Cliff Kingsbury. And then you got veterans like Fitzgerald, which would have been really cool to see, I feel like. But
Also, this is the first year that the Patriots have been eligible in a long
yeah,
time.
exactly. I doubt Belichick would like the cameras
I
though.
don't think he would. But that would be, as a Patriots fan, I don't want to see that. But I don't think Belichick would. He'd be like no distractions. So yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly. I mean, so there you have it. I mean, the Cowboys are going to be on it.
all right, and now we will be interviewing Sale Buffington, who has a huge fight coming up August 14th versus Finn. Sale versus Finn. It's gonna be a movie, and so we're gonna have him on and just talk about the fight, what to expect, stuff like that. Casey will be asking the questions because he'll have him on his phone. But yeah, so let's bring him on.
Yo,
All right, we
what's
now
up,
welcome
Casey?
we now welcome on Eliseo Buffington. August 14th is the day, ladies and gentlemen. And Eliseo, first of all, are you confident going into this, or are you quaking a little bit?
First off, what's up to all the viewers? Glad y'all tuning in. And to answer that, I'm confident. Me and my camp, we've been training this summer. I've been going to many workouts for football and just weightlifting and all. And me and my camp are confident we're gonna come out there and kick some butt, man.
Yeah, I mean, you do have the height advantage on him. Are you going to use that as somewhat of a strategy? You probably have a much bigger wingspan than Finn does.
Well, yeah, that's what we've been game planning around. And actually, the surprising thing is, me and Finn have similar wingspans, which is something that just is mind blowing to me because I have a clear 8-inch height advantage or whatever it is. And but that height advantage is something really key. One thing I really got to work on is don't let him inside. Got to keep my advantage and keep him away from me. But just can't let him inside, and that's really what the focus is on the defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Sayo, it's Oliver here, and I was wondering about how you think weight will impact this fight. I mean, you obviously have a huge weight advantage over Finn. I mean, you said you're 8 inches taller. Do you think that will play to your advantage, or do you think that will kind of slow you down and make you less mobile than him, or how do you think it's going to play out?
This is the thing. I think Finn, I've been working on the endurance a lot for football anyway, so I think I'm trying to get that up for this fight because that's a thing I need to focus on. Because I think he's a guy, that has that, endurance and could go for a long time, But I think the one thing that weight, it gives me is that one hit punch power, and I think if I use it right, I could end the fight quick, which is what I would want to because I don't want to, go for endurance.
Yeah.
Longer.
Facts.
So, yeah.
The bigger you are, the less endurance you're going to have probably. So that makes sense.
Mm.
And how many rounds are you guys going, and what's like the time limit per round?
So, we're setting all the things in stone right now, but it's either going to be 3 or 5 rounds of 2 minutes.
Yeah. And what's the weight on the gloves? Do you guys know yet?
Yeah, we're going to go 16 ounces.
Damn, 16 ounces.
A pound.
You can end them.
Yeah, man, it's gonna because there's some questions if we're me and Finn and both camps are trying to figure out if we're doing headgear and Finn I think Finn's a little scared because this is some secret stuff, but he doesn't want body shots, man.
Wow. So, he only wants to go to the padded part.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and you can bet on this. Find Will Maxwell, book you for the fight. Bet on this fight. I mean, it's a lot of people saying that although you have the height advantage, you're going to lose sales. So that you could be maybe even an underdog for this. So
and that's just something that's crazy to me. I don't think in any situation with Finn I'm coming out as an underdog. But, I like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the okay, don't root for me. I think I'll lose.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think underdog's better in this because less pressure on you to win, and if you do win, then it's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and so we realized while planning this, we have a football bet with Sacred Heart.
Oh yeah.
fight. So we're gonna try to push this back to kind of a late night affair, but it might be a little tough for me coming.
Yeah, from the talent show that we're gonna do on that night.
Yeah, from the talent show.
Yeah.
So we'll see how I'm feeling.
Yeah, and you can see the highlights on the screen right now from Eliseo. So I mean, it's gonna be a fight. There's also some pre-fights, I believe, right?
So basically, there were some issues with like people backing out, and
Damn.
so like we tried to get. It was originally going to be obviously me and Finn as the main, and then it was going to be Johnny Raddiff versus White Stenson, and then White Stenson had to go to college, so Johnny was left with nobody. Then we were going to have Dante and Liam Johnson, Dante Cachon, and Liam. I don't think wants to do that anymore. So Dante right now is currently trying to find an opponent.
I want them to just fight.
Yeah, they could fight.
I don't know if they would want that, but I know Dante's trying to find something right now.
Any viewers, you can fight Saturday night if you're interested. Yeah. So I mean, there you have it. Saturday night, August 14th. Eliseo is ready. He's been preparing, in the weight room on the football field, so he's ready. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Video Sports Talks back in Eliseo.
Thank you for having me, man. It was awesome.
Yes, sir. All right, see ya.
See you, boys.
See ya.
I mean, there you have it, boys. Eliseo Buffington versus Finn O'Kelly, Saturday night. One of our own subscribers in a boxing match. Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. All right, and that wraps up episode 27 of CO Sports Talk. It was a quick one, but it was a fun one. We got Eliseo Buffington on to talk about his boxing match versus Finn O'Kelly, Saturday, August 14th. Be there, be square. And we talked about MLB. So only 2 topics. We got some funny guests on who didn't always know what they're talking about, but it was entertaining nonetheless. So yeah, any last words?
Yeah. Hard Knocks Tuesday, MLB Giants, first team of 70 wins are at 71. Real quick, do you think they will get 100 wins? I mean, they have to win like
they've got.
What's that?
I feel like they've got it. They're well on pace too. So
I agree. I think they will. People like my dad, they're haters and they think that the Giants are just frauds, but I think they will at this point. I mean, they've already gone so far. No way they're going to get worse, especially with all the guys we got coming back. But I mean,
exactly. I mean, we played.
Shout out to Brandon Bell. He's looked amazing. Friend of the program.
Played 112 games, so that's
Yeah, you got exactly 40 more games left. So 50.
50 games left, and we have 71 wins with its 29. So we need to win 29 out of 50. So we need to go 29 and 21. That's very doable.
They can do that for sure. Just under 60% of their games left. They have to win. So I think they can do that. But yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty good episode, a little different than normal just because it was a slow sports week, but we'll see you next time.
Peace.